edition of Size Eyes in the Skies.
It was windy and cool today, but will that last much longer? I'll let you know coming up in your full 7-day forecast.
And Nathan Coy is in with a look at your national forecast. Stay tuned, you're watching Size Eyes in the Skies.
On ISU TV. Broadcasting live from Ames, Iowa, this is Size Eyes on the Skies. ISU TV's longest running television show brings you the weather around the country, in Iowa, Ames, and beyond. The Iowa State Meteorology Department's team of forecasters keeps you ahead of the next weather system. Size Eyes on the Skies starts now.
And thanks for joining us on this Wednesday, October 16th edition of Size Eyes on the Skies. I'm Colleen Mehlberg, joined with Nathan Coy. How are you this evening?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. A little chilly, but I'm doing good.
It is a little chilly out there. The winds are a little calmer than yesterday.
Yes, thank goodness. 2 days in a row of strong winds gets old pretty quickly, especially if temperatures in the 40s, 50s. It's pretty cool.
Is that the way it's going around the nation right now?
It's the whole upper Midwest area is fairly cool. That strong cold front pushed through Monday night and just brought in some cool air from Canada. So anywhere, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, all the way up to the Dakotas are in the 40s and 50s. And it's probably even going to get colder through the long run, especially into the middle of next week. Looks like it could get very chilly, if not very cold. And then the only really warm air in the country is down in the south, Arizona, and then the southern tip of Florida is about the only real warm spots as far as 70s and 80s go. So most of the country is cooled down quite considerably.
So we can say fall is here. Maybe winter too.
Fall
places.
is here in a vengeance, and well, as we saw, winter has been here for parts of the Mountain West a while back already.
Yes.
And they could see some more snow, as there are some advisories out there that are just issued this evening, and we'll take a look at those in your national forecast in a little bit.
All right, well, thank you. And we're going to take it over to Zach with a look at what's going on in Iowa right now.
And how are you on this fine, dreary evening?
I'm pretty good. It's kind of gloomy outside.
Yes. And those clouds stuck around longer than we anticipated today. They were supposed to burn off earlier this afternoon, but they're finally starting to burn off to our west, and those will continue to decrease throughout the evening from west to east, and that will make it quite chilly this evening.
Oh, I bet. Is there a chance for frost, maybe?
In the far northern part of the state, there is a chance for patchy frost, but there's a greater chance this weekend. I'll have more in the 7-day. But until then, let's go ahead and take a look at tonight's day planner. And when you're waking up at 8 a.m. tomorrow, you can expect a temperature of 36 degrees, and that sunshine will finally be out tomorrow, a nice needed change. And noon for your lunchtime temperature of 51 degrees with those mostly sunny skies. And when you walk home from school tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m., a temperature of 61 degrees. So setting up for a nice last day. But that warmer temperatures will not last much longer, and I'll let you know coming up in your full 7-day forecast.
All right, well, thank you, Zach. And coming up, Nathan has a look at your national forecast. Stay tuned. And welcome back. We're going to head over to the wall with Nathan and look at your national forecast.
And good evening, everybody. Your national forecast, taking a look at temperatures around the nation at this time. Here's these cooler temperatures we've been talking about for the whole upper part of the plains here into the Midwest, 40s to 50s. 44 right now just for Billings. Seattle's sitting at 54 right now. We're going to take a fly around the nation. The Northeast currently seeing partly cloudy skies as the sun has now set. Temperatures mainly in the low 60s. If you get towards the coast, they are in the upper 60s as the ocean keeps them a little bit warmer. The Southeast right now holding on to those 70s and even mid 80s on Orlando and low 80s for the Miami area. Just that little part of the country is the warmest we can find. The Southwest right now 58 in Salt Lake City, 73 in San Francisco, some very pleasant weather along the West Coast. And look at this. For about the third day in a row, we have sunshine on the West Coast. Salem right now at 67 degrees under sunshine, but Seattle, clouds have moved back in at 54 degrees. Back to our part of the country here. Low to mid 50s are very common. Out to the west, we do have upper 40s now showing up in North Platte. And some of that cooler air is going to try to work its way in, but it's just not going to happen quite yet. Later in the period, we could see some cool temperatures moving, but we'll have more on that just in a bit. Highs today are not far from what they run right now. Billings 54, 53 in Denver, 54 in Minneapolis, and a pleasant 66 degrees down in the Dallas area. Watches and warnings, most of the country is pretty unactive at this time. Nothing out west. Just a few days ago we had many winter storm warnings, winter weather advisories in effect, but you don't see that right now. Just a little area of newly issued winter weather advisories, and our map just went bazooka on us. There we go. These freeze watches and freeze warnings are for parts of Texas, Kansas, and in the parts of Oklahoma, so certainly they're going to get very cold. Clouds and radar, we have one little clipper-like system working its way in from Canada into Montana, bringing in some rain and a little bit of mountain snow as you get to the higher elevations. Our clouds around here are finally starting to clear out. It's been taking all day long to do so. And then out east, you can see that the cold front is starting to push away with that strong low pressure system that came through here Monday evening and brought us those thunderstorms. Zooming in on part of the northwest here, here's that clipper-like system that's bringing in that somewhat active weather, mainly light precipitation though, as it'll start heading into parts of the Dakotas overnight into tomorrow. Futurecast is going to show that very well. There's that precipitation, moves through the Dakotas into parts of Minnesota, but kind of dissipates before it can really get to us. A new area of precipitation develops across the Rockies, heads southeast into the plains area in the form of thunderstorms, and this will track across the Missouri area into the St. Louis area, bringing them some rain possibly by Friday night into Saturday. But much of the country are going to see much cloud cover working into the weekend. Highs tomorrow are going to be still cool, 50s and 40s across the north central United States, 60s and some low 70s across the south and southwest. Phoenix, Arizona is going to be at a warm 85 degrees. Your city of the night is Rylander, Wisconsin. We picked that because Saturday, look at this, as close as Wisconsin, yes, there is going to be some snow, a 40% chance of a rain-snow mix working into the area, but the overnight lows, freezing and then into the upper 20s. They've already seen their freeze for the year, so there will not be any frost or freeze warnings issued for them, but certainly the flakes will be falling and maybe a dusting of snow as they head towards the nighttime hours. The temperatures will be near freezing. Next week is looking mainly cloudy and chilly with temperatures in the 40s. That's your national forecast. Colleen, back at the desk.
All right, thanks, Nathan. Definitely some chilly temperatures appearing across the country. Let's go ahead and take a look at your trivia question for tonight. 1911 to 1912 was the snowiest season in Des Moines on record. How much snow fell? Was it A, 60 inches, B, 72 inches, C, 86 inches, or D, 95 inches? Think about that over the commercial break, and we'll have your answer coming right up. So do you think you know the answer to that trivia question? Well, let's take a look at it one more time. In 1911 to 1912 was the snowiest season in Des Moines on record. How much snow fell? Was it A, 60, B, 72, C, 86, or D, 95 inches? The answer is B, 72 inches. That is a lot of snow that fell over there. But with that, we'll take it over to the wall with Zach with your Iowa forecast.
Well, Colleen, I can promise you this. We're not going to see that much snow anytime soon, and I hope not. It is still the month of October. So taking a look at current temps across the metro right now, Perry is sitting at 49 degrees. Fort Dodge is 48, and Iowa Falls 47. So the upper 40s across the central Iowa right now. And we go ahead and take a look at statewide temperatures. We can see Council Bluffs is sitting at a warm 52, and so is Sioux City at a warm 55. This is because I saw more sun today. Now where we're under the presence of clouds, we can see we did not get that warm today. High of 50 right now, and a temperature of 49 in Ames with a temperature of 48 in Fort Dodge. So we go ahead and take a look at current winds. They are finally starting to die down. On Monday, we were talking winds in the upper 20s, but as we can see right now, we can only have the single digits, and the winds are a little stronger as you get closer to that cold front out in eastern Iowa with 12 miles per hour out in Davenport. Clouds and radar, those clouds are finally starting to dissipate and work their way off to the east, and that will continue throughout tonight. So eastern Iowa will clear out eventually later on this evening. But if we go ahead and take a look at the Midwest view, we can see we have a slight shower or two down in Kansas, but otherwise much of the upper Midwest is dry under the presence of high pressure. So if we go ahead and take a look at Futurecast, our next weather maker, which is not really a weather maker, is going to slide through as a weak cold front on the day tomorrow. This is all it's going to do is going to shift the winds from the southwest to the north, and that's going to drop temperatures just a tad, and bring in a few clouds with it. Otherwise, not a whole lot of rain with it, and then we will talk about cooler temperatures. So our lows tonight, 35 in Ames, 38 in Council Bluffs, and 39 in Des Moines. So overall, the mid to upper 30s across the state tonight. And our highs will rebound quite a bit tomorrow. 64 in Des Moines, 64 as well, and out in Council Bluffs. Cooler as you go to the north, Mason City at 59 degrees. So our overnight low here in Ames, 35 with those decreasing clouds from west to east throughout tonight. But it's going to be pretty chilly. Those winds will be out of the west-southwest at 3 to 6 miles per hour tonight. And tomorrow, 63, mostly clear skies. That sunshine will finally return, which we haven't seen in a couple of days now, with a southwest wind of 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for your 7-day forecast, as we noticed, that cold front, as it moves through on Thursday, it will drop our temperatures just a bit to 53 on Friday, 52 on Saturday. But look at the overnight low Saturday night and the Sunday morning. We could be waking up to patchy frost, even some possible freezing temperatures across far northern Iowa in the upper 20s. So we'll keep an eye on that as some freeze warnings could be issued. And then our next weather maker comes on Tuesday evening into Wednesday as another cold front. And this one looks a little bit more powerful. We'll slam through the state, dropping temperatures even into the mid-40s. And it is possible that we are looking at next week on that Wednesday when that powerful cold front, that northern Iowa could be in the upper 30s for highs.
Ooh,
and
is chilly.
I don't want to say it, but some of the models want to spit out some snow. And so,
I mean, it is October.
but we don't really see too much snow in October. I remember it was 2010 in October. It was October 12th. We saw some snow. And we got a nice little dusting that day, and that was the earliest snowfall in October we had seen for quite some time. But we're getting into October, and it's definitely a pattern shift, if anything. So
Definitely is. I mean, last week was nicer. Tomorrow will be pretty pleasant, though, 60-ish.
yeah, well, enjoy it while it lasts, because if we're going to get in upper 30s mid next week, we'll be wishing for those 60s to come right back.
It almost seems like you get summer, a week or two of fall, and then you jump right into winter. No fall, you just go 50s, 40s, 30s, and snow.
It's definitely that
Exactly.
pattern shift right now where we're talking, we cool down a bit, because yesterday and today we've been in the 50s, and then we'll warm up to the 60s, and then we'll be 50s. But it looks like the long-term models are showing we don't get the 60s back, so enjoy them while they last.
I would have to agree with you on that one. By looking at those, the last consecutive couple days now, they have been very consecutive on bringing in the cold air the middle of the end of next week and keeping it around for quite some time to come.
Even this weekend when our lows dip into the lower 30s, we could have enough moisture in the atmosphere that we could squeak out a few flurries, but I wouldn't bet on it, if anything. So
Basically, grab a jacket when you head out the door
Yes.
this next week, because it's going to be a little chilly. So that's it for here tonight at Sides, Eyes in the Skies. Tune in on Wednesday, or Monday, I should say, for the next edition. But for now, have a happy hump day.
Hump day!